This is the top 8 questions that we get asked about data deduplication. First question is, what is data deduplication?
Data Dedupe finds identical blocks of data on your disk, and it removes the second or however many copies there are and just replaces it with a pointer file to the first source that is identical to it, so that you remove copies of data while still having your entire file present.
So it works based on chunks of data. So every file can potentially have chunks of data that are similar to a completely different file. And in that case, it's going to remove one of those and reference the other one. So a quick example would be if you've got a video with frames of black, very common. Potentially, you would be looking at one frame of black and it's just being reused for all of your videos. General example, but that's how it works. Question number 3, on a 50 terabyte volume, how much space are you going to save? The answer there really depends on the types of files that you have on the drive. If you have a lot of unique data, you're probably not going to save a lot of space. If you have a lot of data where potential portions of that data are shared, or data is just completely duplicated, entire files are duplicated, you may save a lot of space. So it depends greatly, but we've seen anywhere from 10% all the way up to 60% on some volumes, depending on the type of data. So next one, Taylor, number 4, what are the downsides of this? Because it sounds kind of awesome.
Yeah, so the main downsides, specifically if you're on a spinning disk system, are because you're pulling out all these blocks of data from files and putting all these pointers there, you're causing a lot of fragmentation of the data. Obviously, for spinning disks, this means you're going to be spinning more to read the same file, and your performance is going to take a pretty big hit. On SSD-based systems, since your random reads and writes are so much, they're basically equivalent to your typical sequential reads, you're going to have almost no downsides in terms of performance on an SSD-based unit.
Number 5, is this safe? And the answer is yes. This is not technology that ProMAX has developed. This is not some secret thing. We are using, Microsoft has developed this. We're leveraging it in our systems. We've gotten to the point now with our hardware and the performance of our systems that we can leverage this for our clients. So this is a Microsoft-based system that's been in play in business, in high-end businesses for half a decade or more at this point. So we're in pretty good shape when it comes to safety and security of the data. It's been well proven in the business world. So back to you, Taylor. Does this affect performance significantly? And you kind of touched on that in the last one.
Yeah. So yes and no. If you're on a spinning disk system, yes, this is going to affect your performance. If you're on an SSD-based system, you're not going to notice pretty much anything. The most you're probably going to get is maybe a 5% drop in performance on an SSD-based system. On hard drives, you could potentially get somewhere in the range of like 40 to 30% performance dips.
So the next question here is, can I use dedupe on any ProMAX platform system? And unfortunately, the answer is no. However, it's just based on the OS version. Because we need to use certain areas of the Microsoft backend to utilize this, we do require that the server have Microsoft Server Standard installed on it. That said, if you have any questions as to whether that's your system or not, reach out to us and we can verify that very, very quickly. And the last one here is, can I use Data Dedupe on a MediaHub?
No. So the main reason is because there's a lot of processor overhead with the fragmentation and the pointer referencing of all this deduplicated data, and the MediaHub really just doesn't have the horsepower to work with that kind of storage if it's in a 50 terabyte volume or something. It's just not going to happen.